Welcome to Rubber Duck Off-Road Garage. My name is Grant, and today we're going to be installing the Rough Country RS 4500 winch with winch mount onto my 2022 Polaris Xp4 1000 RZR. The tools you're going to need are a 12mm, 13mm, and a 15mm, and a 14mm, a 19mm, a T20 Torx, and a T40 Torx, and of course ratchets to go with those, a 9/16 wrench. And then first thing you need to do is pull your front fascia off, which I've already done, which you also pull your little hood off, which I've already taken off. Unhook your lights, your front fang lights, your headlights, and all of that. You need the T20 Torx to take out these two little Torx here that hold the front cover on for that. And then you take out all the bigger Torx, the T40s. And then once you get all that done, it's time to move on to the next step, which is where I'm at right now. And I will get working on the next step, and then I'll kind of give you a little run through of how I'm going along. All right, folks, so the next step is you have to remove this front plate that goes between here, and then there's 4 bolts that go there. You need to remove that. I set the bolts up here. It's the 15mm and a, what size was that other? 13mm. So the 15mm is these 2 big ones. You'll probably need a wrench on the back side, and then your front bolts are the 13mm. So you remove those, and then you take that plate off, and then the next step will be probably putting the new mount on, but I'll get that going and we'll see where it leads us. All right, so next up is we're going to install the fairlead onto the bracket, and then we put the bracket back on the front between these 2 15mm bolts. I'm going to go ahead and snug those bolts up. I'm not going to tighten them all the way. I'm just going to snug them up for now, because it doesn't call to tighten them all the way yet. So we'll just snug them up, and then after that I got to take the front wheel off. So I'm going to get to that, and then I'll get back onto it and show you where I'm at. Alright, so the next step is jack it up, put some jack stands underneath it, and then you have to take off the left wheel. So I'm going to take the left wheel off and get that all arranged, and then I think the step after that is disconnecting one of the shocks, but I'm not 100% sure right now because I got to look at the instructions, because it's always good to check the instructions. So I'm going to pop that wheel off, and then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so I removed the wheel, removed the bolt from the coilover, and I moved it out of the way. You got to do that so you can fit the winch in the back there. So it says next to put the 4 square bolts in the bottom of this, which have been done. So we're moving right along. Next up will be, I got to install the winch to the winch plate, which is this plate right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that all put on there, and then hopefully it's time to tuck that thing into the back, but we'll see. Okay folks, I got the winch mounted to the plate, and I got the plate installed. So I was wrong. You want to take off the driver's side, and you lift the shock out of your way, and then you put the mount in there, and you take those 4 carriage bolts. One here, and there's one down there, and then the same on the other side. Go ahead and tighten all those up once you get it in there, and it's quite the adventure. And then you move on to the next step, which I'm pretty sure the next step is probably putting everything back together, kind of. So let's see, next step is I gotta mount the relay box. So I'm gonna get started on mounting the relay box, and then I'll show you where it goes. Okay folks, well, I got the solenoid pack mounted. I mounted it up here on the firewall. I've got all the wires run. I'm gonna have to go get some connectors so I can shorten these up. I got the switch mounted inside. And now it's just putting everything back together. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it all back together, and then we'll wrap this video up. Alright folks, so I'm all done. I got it all back together. I got the wheels torqued, all the other bolts are tight. I ended up cutting the front plastic to clip it back on around it. I'm going to do some research and see if there's not something else I can find that'll make it look better, because it doesn't look really good without that piece on there. I shouldn't have cut the top, but too late for that. It'll probably change once I put a bumper on the front of it anyway. But it's all in there. Cable's all tight. You can see it up underneath there. So here's where you free spool and engage is at. Which is kind of neat. Then the switch is inside, and other than that, that's it. So if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and hit the notification button. You'll get notified whenever I upload a new video, and thanks for watching.